Hello, my name is Johnny. I'm the tech here at Nasteck Mobile Parts. Today we are going to be doing a demonstration on how replacing your iPhone 7 screen. The product that we're going to be using today is going to be our FEG premium quality screen replacement. When you open the box, you're going to see that there's two tempered glasses, the iPhone 7 screen, and then the tools that we're going to be using during the demonstration. The link to our product will be down in the description of the video. If you do have any questions or concerns, our email will be there. Also, let's get to it. Alright, well, first step is we're going to go ahead and turn off the phone. Give it a couple of seconds there. And then we're going to go ahead and take off the two bottom pentalobe screws. And because this has a tempered glass, so we're going to go ahead and remove that before we try to lift the screen up. Alright. And we're going to try to use our suction cup because there's already cracks on the screen, so sometimes the suction cup won't actually work. So we're going to try our best. Alright, so now we're going to use our suction cup to go ahead and lift the screen a tad bit, and you could use a guitar pick to just go ahead and put it in there to create a small gap, and then just go ahead and slide it on the sides. Like that. And then once you have that gap open, you want to go ahead and kind of slide it down a little bit and then just pull up. And there you go. The screen's open. Just cut off all this glue that comes with the screen. Alright. And next step will be to take off the plates. Both plates, which is this one and this one up top. And just a little fact, I would recommend, because the tools don't come pre-magnetized, it's good that you get one of these to magnetize the screwdriver, so you don't have issues or all your screws falling all over the place. Alright, and then once you have that plate off, you want to go ahead and unplug your battery. Make sure you fold it at least a little up. And then you want to go ahead and take off your second plate that's on top for the front camera and proximity sensor. you unplug that one first, and then you go ahead and unplug the screen. And then you can set the frame to the side. We'll get back to that later. Alright. Next step will be to take off all your components, which would be your ear speaker / front camera and your proximity sensor. And then you'll go ahead and take off your home button, but there's a plate on top of that, so you have to remove that one to get to that. And then of course your back plate. So taking off the top plate. Alright, and then you want to go ahead and lift your front camera, and then go ahead and take out your ear speaker, set that to the side, and you want to go ahead and grab some tweezers, and you want to lift the proximity sensor to the side gently, because you don't want to rip it. And once it's up just like that, go ahead and grab our tool and just pry gently until you feel that everything's released. Alright. And now we want to go ahead and release the connectors that are right here. So just gently, just grab a little corner, just so like this, just slowly lift it. And then once you're at the edge around here, you're gonna feel like just everything's gonna pop up. Just as so. Alright, put that to the side. Alright, and now I'm gonna go ahead and do the bottom home button. I'm gonna do the home button. And just a quick reminder, you always want to keep your screws in a pattern or organized, at least in a way that you could remember where every screw goes, just because every screw is different. Well, it's a different size. So if you put, let's say, this screw in this hole right here, you probably might damage the home button. Or you put that one in this one, it probably won't reach all the way down. So this plate right here won't be sitting down flush. That's just a quick reminder. Alright, and once the bracket's off, just put it somewhere where you could remember to put it back. Alright, and the fun part. So this connector right here, it's attached to the screen. So the home button literally connects right here at the bottom. So what we have to do is actually release the home button connector from this connector right here, but without ripping it. So the easiest way to actually do so is, if you have nails or not, you could go ahead and let's see how I could do it. You want to kind of grab a hold of the top connector right there, and then just put your spudger in the middle and just push down, but gently, and there you go. And then this cable right here will be released. And then go ahead and grab your spudger if you like, and then just kind of just wedge it in there, but just slowly, because of course you don't want to rip it, because if you rip it, your Touch ID will no longer work, or your home button won't work at all. So that's the home button. We'll put that to the side. All right. And last step would be taking off your back plate. Alright, and then just, you could use your screwdriver and then just kind of peel it up there. Alright, and for this step, what we have to do, as you can see, the connector, or the screen connector, is actually glued on to the back plate. So what we have to do is, with your spudger, I'm going to go ahead and just, you can start off on the side right here, and you kind of want to, don't force it, but just kind of like, you want to put your spudger in and kind of go left, right, just wedge it in there, and then just go gently, you know, take your time. Until you feel like everything's released. And there you go. Alright. And this is our broken screen here. And this is what I mean when I say just keep all your screws and everything intact. So like right here, I have it for my top plate. This is for my connector plate. Right here, I have it for my ear speakers and my front camera. This is for the plate, and this is for the home button. So just keep it, I guess, organized, or as much as you can in a pattern that you could remember where each screw goes. All right. And now we're gonna go ahead and get our screen out of our box. To the side. Right. Put this to the side. And grab our screen. So, and the first thing we actually do want to start when putting everything back will be your plate right here. And the reason why I'm actually saying the plate first, even though I know it's the last thing that we actually took out, is because remember this adhesive that was stuck behind these connectors? Well, when you sit it down, you kind of want to make sure that these two connectors right here are kind of in the mid, or not kind of, but that are right in the middle, because of if it's kind of centered the tad bit to the side, this little box right here, and let me just show you just to demonstrate. This little box here actually has to go in this little rectangular shape right here. It has to literally go exact, and if it doesn't, then this is actually going to create pressure on your screen, and literally all you will see is like a pressure mark, and then, you know, hopefully you don't break the screen like that, but it's possible. So that's why I'm just recommending, but I'm gonna demonstrate how to do it or whatnot. So back to the plate. So we want to make sure all our cables are kind of pushed up, because sometimes these cables right here will be kind of pushed down a little bit. So you always want to make sure they're kind of up all the way. And then of course these two connectors kind of have to be at the same length. So when we put it on, when we put the plate on, you want to start from the top first, because you always want to connect, make sure that you can see that circle right here. And then you just want to put it down. And then as you can see, none of the connectors, you can't see none of the connectors because it has to be flush all along the bottom. Okay, so once you do that, and then of course you always want to make sure that this is actually aligned. As you can see, that it's aligned. Alright, and once you get that going, I'm going to go ahead and put all screws for the plate back. Alright, and when all that is done, go ahead and put the home button back in. So for the home button, you want to go ahead and do it through the front first. So you just want to insert it through there, and just as so. You want to put it down, and we could grab our tweezers, kind of lift it a little bit, and then you want to lift this connection up right here. So you could go ahead and rest your home button cable on the screen frame. And then we're going to go ahead and just close it as so. Just like that. Then we're going to go ahead and put our top plate back on. And one thing I would recommend is when you're putting your your home button plate, just start off with the two screws at the end of the plate. So when you put your last two screws in, you're not over here holding one side or the other. So just a little FYI. I mean, I guess it helps me when doing repairs. Makes it much easier. All right. And then when that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and put in our ear speaker and our front camera, and then the proximity sensor is back on. Alright. So the easiest way for me is you want to start off putting down these connectors first. So these connectors have two holes right here on the sides that there's literally two holders for the connector. So you want to make sure that you literally aligned it on there, because it's important, because when you put your ear speaker down, those gold connectors will be straight down, and then those little grooves, little parts on the actual frame, they'll actually go in there. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you align everything so the ear speaker sits down and it actually makes connection. If no, then you're not going to be able to hear from your ear speaker when you're calling. So back to the front camera. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this side first. Just gently push it down. And then we're going to go ahead and do the last side. Okay. And then this part here, all you have to make sure that these two rectangles / squares just go in that square or rectangle and that square rectangle, and that's about it. And then just kind of feel for it, just to see if one is not lifting more than the other. Just make sure that's flush. Alright, so now that we have that, I'm gonna go ahead and put our ear speaker. So again, we're gonna go ahead and lift that, and then just make sure align it with the holes, and then when you push it down, you can actually kind of feel this part of the ear speaker go inside the mesh right here. So literally you'll feel it, and then it will stay in place. It won't lift or anything. So now we go ahead and flip that cable over our ears, or put our front camera. Make sure that it actually goes in the hole. Then we put our bracket over that. Okay, and then you just want to hold it down until you at least get two screws. So again, like I was saying, you want to at least put two screws in before you actually, could release. So you at least want to put that one and that one. Yeah, and sometimes the screw will get attached to the ear speaker because it's a magnet, so you just kind of have to move it to the side a little bit so it doesn't get attached to the ear speaker. So once that's done, you go ahead and just release your finger from there, from holding the plate, and see, put putting all the screws back in. So now that we put in our front camera, ear speaker, proximity sensor, and home button, and we just want to double check and make sure that our cables are aligned with this little silver part right there. Alright, and we're ready to connect back to our phone. So when installing this, installing the screen back, you're gonna see that it has all this black rubber adhesive that's supposed to be like the seal for the screen to put it down. So what you want to do is actually take it off. So like right here, as you can see, there's like a little bulge of it, so that sometimes actually causes the screen not to go all the way down. So you want to go ahead and remove it. I would say to remove it, but if it's the flat like this and not bulging up, well, except this little piece right here, then you could just keep the rest on there. I mean, it won't hurt or anything. But if it's bulging up, then I recommend take it off. Alright. So now to connect our screen back. So what we want to do is start with the first one at the top. Go ahead and connect that one. Alright. Now that we have that one on, go ahead and connect the screen. That one. And that one. Then we want to go ahead and connect the battery. Now let's turn on our screen for a couple of minutes, because when you install it, you want to make sure that the touch works, that your fingerprint touch ID works, your front camera, your ear speaker, of course. So you want to go ahead and try all that before you actually close it. So that's why I actually have it still open, so I could just double check, make sure everything works before I close it. So I'll give it a couple of more seconds to turn on. Alright, and now we want to make sure that the touch and everything works on the screen, which as you can see it does. And the best way to actually test out a screen is if you go ahead and just hold the icon and then just move it around to make sure that the touch works everywhere. And after that, you want to go ahead, probably test the back camera and the front camera, and you're about it. And last but not least, you want to go ahead and call to make sure that your ear speaker works. And then after that, we go ahead and turn off the screen. We're gonna go ahead and put back the two metal plates that go right here and right here. So first we're gonna start with the big one. And for these plates, you don't want to tighten just one screw all the way. You kind of just want to slightly screw it down, so it could give you room just in case the plate moves around. Then you'll still have space to move it as so. And you always want to make sure that the holes are aligned so the screw goes down perfect. But like that. Alright, and then once you have that plate on there, I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the top plate right here. Alright, and then once you're done putting those two plates back, I'm going to go ahead and close the screen. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and make sure that these go inside of the frame of this little part right here. Let me just grab a spudger of this part right here. So you kind of want to just, I'm just do it at this angle so you kind of see it a little better. You kind of want to lift, make sure that pushes in or goes under, and then you kind of want to just push it in so you see that the screen's flush right there. And then you just kind of want to just sit it down and then just slightly press. You don't want to press it too hard, because just in case you don't want the screen to break or anything. And then just press on the sides, and there we go. And then last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and put back those two pentalobe screws, because this is what actually holds the screen in place. Alright, and you're all set. And hopefully you enjoyed this demonstration of fixing the iPhone 7. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you, and have a good day. And hopefully y'all enjoyed our video. And don't forget to go on our website and check out our FEG quality screen replacement. The link will be down in the description at the bottom of the video. And hopefully you enjoyed the video with us today. Don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe. Thank you and have a good one.